Layne Riggs just put on an absolute clinic at IRP, and if you blinked, you missed almost the entire race. We're talking about a driver who led 198 out of 200 laps. Let's break down exactly how it went down. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation news is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the headline number here. Layne Riggs now has 10 career wins in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And get this, 5 of those 10 have come this season alone. That means half of his entire career win total happened in 2026. That's the kind of stat that tells you exactly how dominant this year has been for him. Now let's talk about just how dominant this particular race was. Riggs led 198 of the 200 laps at IRP. Think about that for a second. Out of 200 total laps, he was only not leading for 2 of them. That's about as close to a complete takeover as you can get in this sport. He crossed the line ahead of Connor Mosack, who finished second. And for Mosack, that runner-up finish was actually a career-best result. So even though he came up short of the win, this was still a milestone day for him personally. There's more to the story too. This wasn't just a win at IRP. It was Riggs' second win in a row at this specific track. Last year, he led 160 of 200 laps at IRP to win. This year, he topped that by leading 198 of 200. Back-to-back dominance at the same track, 2 years running. After the race, Riggs spoke about what the win meant to him. He called it a statement win and said he was basically on cruise control for much of the race. But he did credit the number 7 truck, that's Mosack, with keeping him honest, especially over the final 15 laps when he was running through traffic and couldn't quite shake him off. He also gave credit to his spotter Josh for helping guide him through that lap traffic. Riggs also brought up one shaky moment during the race. A restart where his tires spun really badly. He said tires spinning like that are tough to recover from, and he thanked the trucks running behind him for not turning him around when it happened. That's a small moment, but it shows even a dominant day like this one wasn't completely mistake-free. Now let's get into the rest of the top 10. Behind Riggs and Mosack, Majeski came home third. Chandler Smith, who was Riggs' teammate, finished fourth, and Nick Sanchez rounded out the top 5. Filling out the rest of the top 10 were Stewart Friesen, Caden Honeycutt, Gavin Bossel, who was making his debut, Tyler Ankrum, and Michael Christopher Jr. Let's rewind and walk through how this race actually unfolded, stage by stage. In stages 1 and 2, the field simply had no answer for Riggs. He led from the pole and controlled the entire first stage, which was caution-free from start to finish. By the time that stage wrapped up, he'd actually lapped his way up to 15th place, meaning he was so far ahead he caught and passed cars all the way back to 15th on the track. During the stage break, Akis ran into trouble. He had a mechanical issue that was later confirmed as an alternator problem. He did eventually get back out on track, but by that point, he was many laps down. Meanwhile, Riggs kept doing what he'd been doing all day, dominating. His teammate Chandler Smith was in a battle of his own, going back and forth with Mosack for that second place spot. And once again, Riggs lapped his way back up inside the top 15, sweeping both stages 1 and 2. Now, stage 3 is where things got a little more chaotic. This was the first and only natural caution of the entire race, and it came with 63 laps to go. Hemric made contact with another truck while trying to move to the inside. That contact sent him spinning, and he slid up the track and collected Landen Lewis in the process. Both trucks were destroyed in that incident, and Lewis's truck actually caught fire briefly. That brought out a red flag for cleanup. Once the race went back green, Caden Honeycutt made a strategy call. He pitted for fresher tires, taking a bit of a gamble. And for a moment, it looked like things might tighten up, as Mosack closed within 2 seconds of Riggs while working through traffic. But he never mounted a real serious challenge for the lead. There was one more moment of drama late in the race. Enfinger and Andres Perez made contact right in front of Riggs. Enfinger was visibly smoking as he limped his truck around the track afterward. But NASCAR made the call to keep the race green, and Riggs cruised the rest of the way to seal the win. One more thing worth mentioning before we wrap up. The battle for the finals chase spot is getting tight. Right now, Stewart Friesen is holding on to that 10th and final transfer position, but he's only 8 points ahead of Tyler Ankrum. That's a margin that could shift with basically any result over the next few races. So here's the question for you. With Riggs now sitting at 5 wins this season and 10 for his career, and with that Chase battle tightening up behind him, how much longer do you think he can keep this pace going? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stick with NASCAR Nation News for more coverage every single week.